Good morning, YouTube. It's me, Jordan. I haven't done a video in a long time and I apologize for that. And also I am missing my tripod. I can't find it anywhere, so I apologize if this video is a little bit shaky, but I'll do my best to not get you seasick. So I haven't done an update on my freshwater tank here. I've been pretty busy with some other stuff, like building a PC, and then prior to that, I had a lot of stuff going on with my saltwater tank, so this one was just kind of not getting, a lot of attention. So I've sort of, my focus has gone back to this tank, and so I've made a lot of changes. If you remember, some of you, if you've been a subscriber, like last summer, somewhere around there, this tank was pretty much just like your average jungle tank, just really big, plants just overgrowing the whole thing, and it looked really cool. But I kind of used the term jungle tank to like as an excuse to not do maintenance on it, and as far as the plants. And what happened with the stem plants was they all just got intertwined, and the aerial roots were growing everywhere, and it just started to look like a bunch of weeds. And so I just ripped almost everything out. I got this microsword carpet going, which is now, I'd say maybe about 6 months or so, maybe about 6 months, has covered the entire front of the aquarium. And I'm talking like I bought, a little bunch like this big, and kind of like ripped it apart and spread it in some couple different places. And I think maybe I got like 2 bunches that big, I guess, and ripped them up and spread them all out. And so that's why when I say 6 months, that sounds like a long time, but that's, 6 months, say from like here over to cover the entire rest of the tank. And the root structure is just like, it's insane. Like it's really deep in there. So I wanted that. That's something that I had wanted for a long time. I took the black off the back of the aquarium and did kind of like a see-through, like transparent type tank, and that looked cool, like almost like the fish were just kind of floating in air. I got kind of sick of that, so new, now in this video is that I put the black background back on just for sort of like a dramatic effect. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's something that I might honestly take on and off. I just really can't decide. And so now I'm sort of doing, I guess, what you could call like a Dutch aquascape. It still needs time to sort of fill in, and I need to really just spend a lot more time in the tank, snipping things here and there, and sort of like manicuring it, I guess the word would be. So that's what I did yesterday in preparation for this video, is just sort of like this plant right here, for instance, the rotundifolia or whatever. It was all like starting to get intertwined and super messy. And so what I did is I had to kind of almost like use my fingers to stick my fingers in between all the stems and just sort of like comb it and get those stems pointing upward, because this plant has a tendency to sort of all of the stems will sort of curl over like that, and they'll all get intertwined, and it looks really messy. So, and another thing that I'm doing too is that when I trim it, I don't just trim them all off, horizontal like that. I sort of have this like, like this layered thing going. And unfortunately, so one thing I did too when I was talking about how I was focusing on building my computer in the saltwater tank, is I did not put any fertilizers in this tank for a long time. And you could definitely tell the microsword stopped growing. I mean, it didn't start to die off, but it just wasn't growing vertically anymore. None of the plants were growing vertically anymore. They're starting to lose a little bit of their color. So I made my own fertilizer tablets with like vitamin gel, those gel capsules, and some Osmocote Plus, and just put one like probably in every 4 inches or so, maybe, like one there, like one over there, went over there, like, you know, just interspersed throughout the whole aquarium. And I'm not even joking, I really should have done a before and after picture, but the growth has just exploded. Like the Ludwigia repens, all of a sudden, you couldn't even see it behind this red plant right here. All of a sudden, bam, I've already had to trim it, it was at the surface. The Rotala, just, you can see like this pink stuff is all the old growth. All these new heads coming out that are green, that's new in like the last week. It just exploded. And then the only thing that's tricky about that though is because they are stem plants, you just have to trim them, and you have to trim the aerial roots. Let me try to see if I can get up close. Get some focus here. You can just see like how densely it's starting to grow. And if you don't maintain that, it just becomes a huge mess of just roots. And so, you know, I kind of jokingly refer to this as like my Dutch garden, you know, because I'm starting to do kind of like a Dutch style aquascape. And that's a commitment, you know, that you're going to get in here at least, you know, every other day or so and clip some things and prune some things. And it's like a garden, you know, that you have, you know, outside your house. It requires maintenance. Otherwise, you know, weeds come in and it just gets overgrown and doesn't look good. So I'm really excited now that I have kind of like a vision for how I want to take this. This is a tank that I've always jokingly said had a like identity crisis, just because I didn't know what direction I wanted to take it in. But I think I'm slowly getting towards my vision now. So I got some purple Cabomba, which you can just barely see a little bit of purple on the tips. Looks pretty cool. I gotta trim that a little bit. Like I said, the Rotala, there's this plant, if you get it bright lights and some nutrients, it's just the growth is just explosive. You have to maintain it. The Java Fern, I bought this like 2 years ago, no joke, is like a stem, like just one little stem, and this is what it's turned into. This is really easy to prune. You just find the brown leaves, like some of those back there, and you just pluck them. They just come right off. Somehow, I have no idea how I have Rotala growing over here from all the way over there. Cyphorus halfiri, something like that. It's like a grass type plant. If you give it long enough, and it'll grow, I mean, like all the way to the top and, you know, over like that. What's his name? Mass Aquariums, I think his name is Mike. I'm pretty sure he has Cyphorus halfiri in his high-tech planted tank, and you can see it like it starts over there, grows up, and goes almost like the entire length of the tank. It's a really cool plant. I'm just gonna trim it and just leave it there because it's a different, you know, texture from some of the other plants that I have. Still have the Ludwigia repens back there. Like I said, it lost a lot of its color because I had to trim some of the mature stuff, and this growth is just so rampant that it hasn't even had time to turn like it's rose color. It's usually what it is. And then this, I have no idea what it is. I'll have to find the name. Bought it as a tissue culture at PetSmart and threw away the box and said, oh, I'll remember that name. And sure enough, I didn't. So I love this just because of how deep the colors are. It's really striking. And then these guys in here, Hydrofern or something like that, Hydrofern, something like that. It's just something, like I said, I wanted some plants that would kind of break up the different textures, you know, rather than just having all just leafy plants like that. You know, I wanted like a grass one and something like that. Those are pretty cool. And then I have like a tiger lotus in there. I have no idea what it's doing. It's just been there for years and just chills like that. It won't grow anymore, any less. It's just kind of doing its thing. So anyway, I have my three, I think they're called painted platy babies. They're, I first discovered them when they were like the size of a fingernail clipping. And so they're slowly getting bigger and bigger. I love these Rummynose Tetras. They kind of move fast, so I can't really get them in view very well. I love them though. They're just, you know, the checkered tail and the like the orange tip. It's just very striking, and I love the way they swim. So, but yeah, that's about it. I still got my frog bit up top. I have to trim those roots like once a week or so. Otherwise, they grow down and they get tangled up in the plants. And then one thing that I'm doing too, I have on order, is a wooden diffuser. I'm gonna try that and see how well that works for diffusing my CO2, because what I have is a little bit ghetto. And I think I did a video about this, I'm not sure, but I have like a ceramic diffuser over there. And what I'm doing is I have this old pump and I just have the bubbles going straight up into the pump, and then it just spews them out that way. And I've tried different directions just for maximum, you know, like disbursement throughout the tank. And some people hate, you know, the appearance of this, and I don't really mind it. When I had it angled going towards the back of the aquarium, so the bubbles were like bouncing off the back and just sort of going that way, you really couldn't see them that much. So I might do that again. Otherwise, I really don't mind the appearance of the bubbles, and you really, like if you're sitting on the couch, you really can't see them. So anyways, like I said, I haven't done a proper update on this tank in probably several months, and I just had so much growth with these new plants I just wanted to share. So if you have any questions, comments, whatever, I try to answer. You know, I respond to pretty much everyone. If you want to see more about my tanks and the progress, you know, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you like my tank and if you like what I'm doing. Otherwise, stay tuned and I will have an update on my saltwater tank here probably coming soon. Alright, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you later.